It is an absolute chore to go and see bad movies, especially the ones that you go in and you know right off the bat they can't be good in the slightest. But sometimes you walk out of a really bad movie and you are so happy that you saw it because you have bragging rights. And if you have a YouTube channel, all the better. Breaking In stars Gabrielle Union, who plays a mom who's going up to her late father's house in the countryside, but basically her father passed away near the beginning of the movie, and they have to go up to his giant mansion that looks unbelievably cool and unlike any house that I ever saw. I mean, it makes the house in Love, Simon look like the houses I grew up in. But anyway, they're going up there to sell the house. But when they get up there, her two kids are suddenly kidnapped by this gang of people who are trying to steal a certain amount of money that's hidden away in one of the vaults in the house. So it's up to Gabrielle Union to get inside the house and save her kids. So with that plot description, it's some sort of thriller where this woman has to save her two kids before they get killed. And the movie expects us to take this seriously, but no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's nothing about this movie that you could really take seriously at all. I gotta say right off the bat, when I heard about this movie and when I saw the trailers, I didn't have hopes for it. I just looked at it and went, this is probably going to be dull. It's probably not going to be all that interesting. Why am I even going out there, spending a day's worth of movie pass to see this movie? And throughout a good chunk of the movie, it is rather boring. But the one thing I will give this movie credit for is that it jumps right into the situation and doesn't really bullshit around. Now, I'm not saying that it's good at all, but at least it didn't take its sweet time. And God bless this movie. It tried in some parts, but no. This is terrible all around. The acting from everyone is awful. Even from Gabrielle Union, who is trying her best in this movie. She is the one actress in the movie who's really trying, but even then she can't save the movie. And the fact that she's also a producer on this film just makes it even worse because she possibly had some sort of hand in this. So if there's anybody to blame for this movie being the way it is, you could easily blame her because she's just the producer. Now, if she was just an actress, then you really couldn't blame her because of the crappy material, and she was just hired to be in the role. But no, she's a producer, so I think it's only fair to pit some of the blame on her. Everyone else is just plain bad. The two kids playing, well, her kids, are terrible. And then you have Billy Burke, who is the leader of these criminals, and he just doesn't seem to be trying at all. He is just underacting and somehow overacting at the same time, because when he gets really emotional, when he is shouting at people, he will do it with the most monotone, deadpan expression possible, and it's just not convincing at all. Nobody is good in this movie, and with Billy Burke, I feel like he may have just gotten exhausted after being in Twilight, playing Kristen Stewart's dad. I mean, shit, being in Twilight will make anybody exhausted. And then you have the three actors playing his goons. One of these guys looks like Dean Pelton from Community, and he has no business at all trying to rob an old man of his money. Then you have one dude who's really nervous, almost with a childlike sensibility. And then you have this one crazy dude who is completely tattooed from neck to toe. And he is pretty much like Jason Voorhees. He's just a killer, he's impulsive, and his eyes are just bugging out so much that every time he's on screen, I was laughing my ass off. He was supposed to be intimidating, but he just came across as incredibly silly and laughably bad. And one of the things that also doesn't help with this movie trying to be serious is the music. The music is just a little too out there. It's trying too hard to be edgy and dark for the kind of movie that it is. And there were a few points in the score where it reminded me of James Horner's score for Commando, where you had this ridiculous piano just going like do 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 do. So yeah, there isn't that much to talk about with this movie, but the ending, oh my god. I'm sorry, okay, I'm gonna do exactly what I did with Truth or Dare. I gotta spoil this shit, because I absolutely cannot go through this video without talking about the ending. So, my rating is don't waste your money on this movie. It's not good, but it's never anger-inducing. You don't look at this movie pissed off, you just watch it and go, okay, I've seen most of this before. Nothing's all that special, except for the ending. So this is the end of my spoiler-free section. If you really, really, really care that much about seeing this movie, then the review's done. I give you my 2 cents, but for anyone else who wants to stick around, doesn't care about this movie at all, I gotta tell you about this ending. So the crazy dude who just is obsessed with killing the 2 kids and Gabrielle Union starts chasing them through the woods. Gabrielle Union and her kids get in a truck, and then we see this dude right behind them slowly walking towards the truck like he's Jason Voorhees, literally walking, not running. And then Gabrielle Union turns the truck on, shifts the gear into reverse, and runs over the dude twice. The truck backs into him like this, runs over him completely, and then Gabrielle Union pulls forward and runs over him again, just for good measure. And then once Billy Burke's character is locked outside the house and Gabrielle Union and her kids are safely in the house, we get a little montage where we see the dude that looks like the dean from Community is dead. We see the kid who's a little nervous about what he's doing dead. And then we never see the corpse of the guy that got run over. So later on, Billy Burke manages to get in the house. Gabrielle Union has the bag full of money that they wanted to steal, and then threatened to set all the money on fire. But the 2 of them make a compromise, and just as Billy Burke grabs the money and walks away, the dude that got run over by all 4 wheels of the truck twice comes the fuck out of nowhere and stabs Billy Burke to death. And you're just watching it going, how? How the fuck did... You're supposed to be dead. Like, is this guy really Jason Voorhees unmasked? Like, 'cause he took getting run over by a truck twice like a champ. So then there's a chase going on. Gabrielle Union's daughter comes in with some sort of club. I think it's a baseball bat or a pool stick. And then she whacks the guy over the head with whatever object she's using. And the dude's just unaffected by it, looks at the daughter, and then tosses her to the side, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2. In fact, that one moment is a direct ripoff from Terminator 2 when the biker hits the T-800 over the head with the pool stick. There's a little more struggling, and eventually Gabrielle Union kills the dude. All of the robbers are dead, and Gabrielle Union, her 2 kids, and her husband, who came in a little later in the movie, are just sitting on the porch. The camera pans out to show the entire house, and then we hear sirens, and in the distance we see cop lights just going on and off, red and blue, red and blue, and then the movie cuts to credits. And this was just a point where this was kind of the movie that I wanted to see. If you're gonna make this so bad it's good movie, then that's kind of the element that I wanted to see. Just this ridiculous, you gotta be fucking kidding me, you can't expect me to take this seriously moment. And it just got to a point where even the few people in the movie theater, they didn't want to be polite anymore. They were just laughing their asses off hard. And normally I would have just been like, will you all be quiet? But this movie was just so bad that I didn't care if these people talked. I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you guys. Laugh away. Oh, one last thing I gotta say. This was the highlight of the entire night. When I went to the ticket woman to hand her my ticket to see the movie, she greeted me as she did. And basically, here's a reenactment of how she responded when I gave her my ticket. Hello, welcome. I can take your ticket? Ew. I mean, like, I saw her clearly, but I would have done the exact same thing. I'm very judgmental when it comes to people and movies. Like, when I go to a friend's house and I see that they have, say, Armageddon or Pearl Harbor in their DVD collection, I'd be like, why do you own this? But to the person who took my ticket, ripped it, and told me what theater to go to at the Grove, you made that whole night worth it. You made seeing Breaking In more worth it than it probably should have been. But yeah, there you go. That's all I have to say. And that's my review for Breaking In. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are on the movie, if and when you've seen it. Don't forget to support my Patreon page and follow me on social media. And until next time, this is the Real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.